Alright guys, so as you can see, we're driving the Porsche 911 GT3 car on Assetto Corsa Evo on Mount Panorama. Sorry I haven't posted a video in a little bit. We've been dealing with some personal stuff at home and then just trying to make these videos a little better quality, so I've been trying to figure out what recording app I should use. Give me 1 second when we load in. I'll take a little bit to take off just because my game has to load. But yeah, just trying to get back in the swing of things. So far I've done all the licensing tests and everything on here. Those are pretty fun. After the new update, though, I'm kind of iffy. I'm wondering if my wheels are full strength. That's full strength. My wheel just feels off after this new update. I don't know what's going on with it, but it just doesn't feel right. I can feel the road textures a little bit better. Cornering weight doesn't seem to kind of come through as much. And this has been the one thing that I've been really kind of just disappointed with the Logitech over, is it's just so much different across every game. Like, there's not a real good way to get it to feel the same. Sorry, I'm running the lap a little slow. But yeah, just trying to make it feel right is a real challenge. It's something I bought it to really hope to get more feels and everything in the force feedback and the true force. And the true force is cool, don't get me wrong, but it's also not really giving you any more usable data than what you are, and recognition of what you already had. Like, I've noticed after the update, there's not as much of the true force that is applied in here. You don't feel all the curbs in this game like you do in some of the others. And that's kind of why I'm leaning towards really just getting out of my Logitech setup. I was debating if I put the money into it and buy the extra wheels and see if that gives me a better force feedback feel, but I just feel like I don't like the overall setup of it in the Logitech Hub app and the G Hub app and the overall just how everything meshes together. Doesn't feel right for what I want it to feel like. Way earlier on that one. But I don't know. And I'm always willing to hear your guys' opinions. I'm really leaning towards 2 different companies. I'm looking at the Fanatec Club Sport DD Plus, which is probably at the moment my second choice. With that I'd be getting the Fanatec Club Sport V3 pedals, and then also a couple of their wheels. I'd be doing one of their round wheels and one of their more racing style wheels, like either their GT3 Porsche wheel or the F1 wheel. not 100% sure which one I'd do. But like I said, they're kind of my second choice. I was really heavily leaning towards them because I drove my father-in-law's setup. I was really happy with it. It felt really nice. Like, we were just noting the difference in quality between my setup and his, and like the overall just feel on it. And I think the Fanatec just does a lot better at being more consistent across every game than Logitech. Not anything against the Logitech, I'm just looking for more consistency and more adjustability to get those game feels, and like to have presets and everything on every game that I can just quickly change. Because I've noticed that if I run I don't know if it's just something I'm having issues with, but if I run the presets in the wheel hub, I lose some of my braking potential unless I run it. So if I run it at 100% on the G Hub app, change it to one of those presets, I have to run it about 65-70% to get max brakes. Which I'm just not a huge fan of. The number one I'm probably looking at for setup wise is probably the Assetto, which I thought about going with them before, and I really should have. I just didn't really want to spend that kind of money yet, but I think it would have been worth it in the long run. And like after watching their YouTube, they put so many good videos out on how to set up their products, how to go through and use their Race Hub app. And like just the engineering and the upgrade path that they give you is pretty crazy. And like it just shows how devoted they are to their product and their craft. And I think they put out a really good product in my opinion. I've seen a lot of good reviews about them. I would probably be going to the Forte wheelbase, which I don't really need 18 Newton meters of force, but there we go, lost it. Don't really need the 18 Newton meters of force, but what I was reading was the Forte even not running it maxed out, comparing it to the La Prima wheel that they put out. That's the 12, I believe. It has more dynamic range. Same with the Invicta compared to the Forte. I just decided probably the Forte is where I'm going to end up with the Forte pedals and the Prima clutch with their round wheel and their both the Forte wheels basically for it. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm debating. And I feel if you guys have any feedback, if you guys own these products, please let me know your opinions on them. I do play a lot of different games. That's where I struggle. I know I'm gonna have to do. It's looking like they're not very supported on Forza Horizon 5, which I do play some of. We'll probably have to figure out a button layout on there. It looks like they walk through on their YouTube how to set that up and what to do with it. So, doesn't seem too hard. But give me your guys' opinions. I do want to hear them and see what you guys have to say. At the moment, like at the moment I am really leaning towards the Assetto wheelbase and setup. I think they put a lot of effort and time into their product, and it really shows with with their YouTube, just what they've went through. We're kind of back to this game. I've really been struggling to get it to record right on my computer. This streaming app seems to work better. The only frustration is I can only stream about 10 minutes at a time, so I'm gonna have to make the videos a little shorter and kind of splice them together a little bit more, so you will see a little bit of that. For everybody, I'm not really expecting to be faster with the Assetto. I just want better response than I feel like I'm getting out of this Logitech, and kind of just better feel. Like, in my opinion, the couple I've driven on, there's certain games that this one feels really good on, there's certain games that it doesn't. I feel like the Fanatec does a lot of them a lot better. I've drove on my father-in-law's Thrustmaster T598 with the hypercar rim, and there's a couple games that even that feels better than this setup, and it's just kind of to the point where I'm like, do I want to put another almost $1,000 into this setup, or do I just kind of get rid of this setup and look for something else? Kind of recoup a little bit of the cost and go to something I'm going to be happier with. And I think at the end of the day, I've kind of decided to just recoup some of the cost and go with something I'm going to be happier with. Now, the Forte pedals, the only thing I really am gonna have to change is my actual frame for my racing sim, because my pedal base is not adjustable and it's set pretty high. So that being said, like, my Logitech G Pro pedals fit on here pretty good, but I had the Canis LC100 pedals at one point when I had my Canis C12, and they just did not feel right, and I wasn't a huge fan of them because of that. And I think I just didn't give that wheelbase enough of a chance. Because of that, I think it was a nice wheelbase. It was also frustrating to have to go through, and like, there's a lot of games that I couldn't make that wheelbase feel right on. Like, it just felt off. But some of the games I'm realizing, like this wheel feels better on Motorsports. I could never make the canvas feel right on Forza Motorsports. It felt alright on Forza Horizon 5. Like, I was able to play on there. I was able to use it. This one feels alright, but it's not the best, and I get that's kind of their force feedback. It's not going to feel amazing. But I just want to get something a little bit closer to what I want feel-wise. This game, this wheel, just nothing I can do to make it feel like I want it to. Kind of the same with Rennsport right now. Rennsport's just a wild card. I've heard my father-in-law say that his wheels don't feel right on Rennsport either, so I'm not too worried about that. Plus, it's a free game. They're still in development and trying to make that. I don't know how that's going to go. Don't play a lot of that game just because I'm not a huge fan of how it feels. I've never found a good way to drive on it. Yes, I am driving a little bit slower just because I'm talking, but just trying to feel just trying to get the feels that I like from this wheel isn't happening, so I'm just back to that where I'm debating what I choose. Now, I have played, I believe I've played this game with my father-in-law's Fanatec DD Pro, and it feels a lot better than my Logitech does. I don't know if it's just I can't find the right settings that I like, or just there's not enough settings in this wheel to make it feel like it should. But it just feels slightly off on this wheel. Like, the road textures do come through, like I said. Those are coming through a lot better. But I'm not getting a lot of cornering force. I can't tell where the weight is on the car. I can't tell when I'm losing the rear tires compared to, like, I can get a slight bit of oversteer. You're always going to be able to kind of tell understeer. But it's really hard to make corrections on this wheel when it just never feels right. Like, I knew I was spinning there, but there's just not a lot of feel for it. This is probably going to be my last lap, guys, and I'm going to jump off and finish up editing this, or getting this video up, just splicing it together. As always, please leave your feedback. Like, I can use some feedback, and I didn't break off for that one. Yeah, I deserve that. But yeah, as always, just kind of leave your feedback. Sorry I haven't been posting much or putting anything up. I'm just been having some things that made it hard to motivate me to really put out any videos lately. It really sucks, but if you did like the video, please like and subscribe. Let me know anything that you've liked on the videos, anything I could make better, just to make your guys' experience a little bit better on my channel. Anything to kind of help me grow. Overall, your guys' thoughts on what I should do setup wise. Yes, I'm not driving the best. I'm way out of practice. I should drive more often on this. Like, I probably drove maybe a total of like 30-40 minutes this week. I just haven't been trying to find the motivation to get back on, and it's really hard when this is one of the games I want to play, and there's a couple others that I want to play and they just don't feel right. Or like on Forza Horizon 5, I really like to play their festivals, and I hurried through that one and played everything really quick for what I wanted to. Alright, well, as always, you guys have a good one and enjoy your night now.